All right, so we've got a yellow colt here. A friend of mine she's starting him, and she does a really good job starting these colts. But he's kind of got just a little bit of a buffalo on her, and he kind of wants to buck around and stuff. She doesn't want to cause any or start any bad habits. So she asked me if I'd come down and get on him a little bit, a couple times. And so with a horse like this that he kind of wants to buck around, if it was at my round pen, I'd just get on him and let him buck around, and after 4, 5, 6 days or however long, they'd give it up if you just kind of ignore it and just do your thing on these better bred, breedier, nicer kind of colts like this. But if I do that and just get on him and we have a little bronc ride, it's not going to help her out, because then tomorrow she'll have to get on him and have a little bronc ride. So I'm going to do something different here, and I'm going to leave this tool with her for a couple days, and she can do this. And I learned this trick from Casey Carson. I think it was Casey that taught me this. But this is a pair of Sidelines. These are Sideline hobbles. So she has assured me that he will not kick my head off when I stick it down there. And I'm going to trust her, because she does a really good job with horses. I've rode several of them. In fact, I own one that she did everything with. And he's going to be a little ticklish about this, because since I don't know him, no matter how much I trust my friend here, since I don't know this horse, I'm a little bit ticklish. And I'm putting these on first before I start to do anything else, so that way he gets a chance to feel these out. Because if they start off and want to buck or do something silly and they don't know they have these on yet, sometimes that's not very cool. You sure brush yours more than I do. Yours are all nice and oh my gosh, you've tied my feet together, sir. Gary Long told me when I was a kid, treat them like they're broken, they'll act that way. And so sometimes on these horses it's a little tough to do, because you know they're going to grab or something like that. And so you end up putting your saddle up there real careful like. But when you do something like this, then you can be pretty cavalier about how you do things. You still want to be careful not to be rude, but you can kind of treat them like they're broke. Does he blow up when you saddle him? He waits? Okay. No moss. Awesome. Get pretty crabby. I'm gonna go ahead and make darn sure he knows those old wheels are tied together. I always do this 3 times. 1, because I was taught to do it 3 times, and 2, because I'm a crazy person. and I do things in threes. Oh, still, he's pretty smart. He figured those out. Yeah. Groovy. Remember in the Gladiator how he always picks up a little bit of dirt before he gets in a fight or does whatever he does? Yeah, I always take a pinch of chew. Days when I put a lot of first rides on, I go through this stuff pretty fast. Okay, you can be scared. You can be scared. I've just barely got my toes in the stirrups here. So I can jump ship if I want to. I've never done this and gotten in a situation where I felt like I should jump ship, but. So this is the part where he gets scared and wants to buck or run off. I'm just scratching him on the neck, trying to just sit real loose. Doing things like this, it doesn't hurt if you have a beer or two before you do it. Tough to get off too. Cool. I'll just stay up here, cruise around a little bit. Mm-hmm. Here in a little bit, he'll figure out, do something other than a circle. He just looked at me out of his right eye and it scared him. Sometimes I find with horses like this, even when I'm by myself, don't have a camera on, I'll just go to talking and singing and hooping and hollering around. There he saw me again, he didn't like it. Just to keep him remembering that I'm up here. Tony Dura taught me that trick when I was a kid. He said some days he'd start a bunch of colts, by the time he was all done, his voice would be hoarse from talking all day. He's kind of licking his lips there, trying to come up with a new idea. He's dang sure got a hump in his back though still. There's one really well-known clinician in particular, whose name I won't say, but she is anti-clucking at a horse for some reason or another and makes a big deal out of it. I cluck to him and I smooch to him when I want to lope. And it seems to me that, gosh, if you can get a couple of voice commands in there, like saying whoa, that makes more sense. You know, in that cluck, Les Vogt talks about it, about how it just builds the energy in them once they learn it. Oh, he looked over and saw that dog, and then he saw me too. Scared him again. He does, he kind of falls asleep a little bit, huh? Listening to the train. Most of the time when you do this, they don't just go in little circles like this. They kind of figure out how to walk around a little bit. But of course, I use these sidelines a lot. And I'll sideline one of these horses and turn them in the yard and let them kind of figure out how to walk around a little in them. So it being this is his first time, he might not. Yeah, I think so. I've never had one do this before. Because usually they. Yeah. Right. Right. Well, and that's what I like about using these sidelines on one like this is, you know, we're having a nice quiet ride, and shoot, you can, if you're like me, you feel like you're not getting much done because you ought to be riding and sliding and spinning and this and that, you know, from the word go, but really we're getting more done here than anything else. And like I said, you know, I could have stepped on him and had a bronc ride, and what good would that done you? Right. So now he's wanting to kind of think a little bit. Oh, does he? Yeah. That might happen too. Boy, you got him soft in the face. I don't know, for me, for my team, if I'm really pretty sure one's gonna buck, I don't get them very soft in the face at first because I want something to brace against. Where you can back them back out of it. Yeah. There was a time when that's what I wanted to do. That's all I cared about. Horse didn't buck when I got on him. He wasn't any good, is what I thought. That time, I've aged out of that, thank God. A friend of mine came and visited last year, and we went to go do something, and I caught him a horse. And I said, this horse isn't any good, but he's gentle. And he rides a lot of young horses too. And he says, at my age, I don't really care if they're any good as long as they're gentle. Right. So I'm not asking him to go anymore. This is still him going. If he offers to stop, we're in a relatively decent position. I'm gonna try to step off of him, step on and off. Might even sideline him on the other side and do this the other direction. Aren't those awesome? There, you remembered I was up there? And I don't know who made this pair. They don't have a mark on them, but Dennis Moreland makes them. Dennis Moreland tack. They're not very expensive. They're like 80 bucks, I think. Yeah, they're handy. I like like I said, I like to just put them on these young horses and just turn them loose in the yard and let them learn it. They'll kind of learn how to cruise around a little bit. Then you do the other side, and it makes them awesome for the shoer. Makes them really, really good to shoe because they figured out. Yeah. And some will really fight it. They'll kick real hard at it, kind of jerk themselves down on their knee once or twice. So I always start in the round pen where this ground's good. But my brother started a thoroughbred. This horse just reminds me of it. Started a thoroughbred in Australia, and he got on him fine, and then the horse kind of bucked around this and that, and then went to running off. Did their thing, and then he figured he'd had a good enough ride, and he went to try to get off, and the horse would grab and run every time he'd go to get off. And he said he was on him for like an hour and a half trying to figure out how to get off the pot liquor. I don't remember what the end of the story was. How he... Oh, did he jump off, or did his wife show up and... Keeps looking over there. Well, that was another reason that's actually originally why I thought of the sideline deal here, because these panel round pens scare me. Yeah. I went and started a bunch of colts for Darwin Dietz one time. He had a brand spanking new high qual. He was so proud of his high qual, and high qual's good panels, but panel round pen, and just kind of had it set off in a spot somewhere there, and it wasn't attached to anything. And those colts were wild. I don't know why I started 30 or 40 for him or something like that. By the time it was all said and done, I had torn that poor round pen. I had massacred it. Well, because none of them, they were all two, and none of them were halter broke, so I had to rope everything horseback and hang a halter on them. It was a mess. That Darwin, he was funny. He had a deep voice and he talked real slow, and everything seemed really serious. Even if he was telling a joke, it seemed like he was real serious. And he'd walk up and he'd say, "Brett, I need to talk to you about something." "Well, what's that, Darwin?" "Well, would you like to come over for dinner tomorrow night?" "Sure, Darwin." He was a gem. He'd have Copenhagen in his lip, Red Bull in both cheeks, smoking a Marlboro Red, and have a patch on when he was pregging cows. Yeah. So doing this, there's a lot of guys that would, and you could take advantage of this, and you could go to whooping around and waving your arms and have a slicker in your hand and do all that and just desensitize him or whatever you want to call that. I think that's a bunch of BS. But you know, you could do all that because you could get away with it because I got his feet tied together. But with a colt like this, he's not bad, he's not mean, he's just scared. And so shoot, if I was waving my arms around and stuff like that, I'm just gonna make him more scared. And so until he gets his confidence up, looks over out of this right eye and sees me and doesn't lose his mind over it, why, I don't see any reason to. There. Oh. Not quite ready to stop, just had to stop to poop. Yeah. That's yours. Right. Well, like I said, I don't know. I've done that. I've done it myself. I really don't think it works at all, but it makes you feel better about the world. Yeah, I mean, he's running off just as fast as he can is what's going on here, you know. Trying to squeeze real hard on him with my legs and kind of give him that feeling there. Well, you didn't cheat like I'm cheating. In the words of Tony Maherder, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. What's happened? You can sell your filly, I want the colt. You can sell your filly, I want the colt. Huh? Okay. Like I said, when we get done here, we're gonna get our trading pants on. I told him I was gonna buy that colt.
He's a nice colt.
I know it.
He's gonna be bigger than
It doesn't take much. Oh, that shoot. I didn't know he had socks. That cuts down his value considerably in my book.
Brady has socks.
He has no white on it.
You just said that horse is mine.
He has no white on it. That thing is.
What's his sire?
Dulce Soldado. He's from the Babcock Ranch, Peppy Sam Badger bred.
Ooh, yeah. You can't put enough Peppy Sam Badger in them for me. Love them.
My favorite bloodline.
Dulce.auto. My buddy owns a stud. He's down in.
His dad's a champion mule horse.
Cool.
That stuff came from the Babcock Ranch. He's down at Dulce Smart Lima and Smart Little Lima. On his papers on the back.
Awesome.
And Freckle Playboy. These are his papers on the back. I was just telling you.
Kidding, babe. Giving you a bad time.
Silver pistol.
Oh, I love them Miss Silver Pistols.
But if he likes
That's kind of a little peppy
Yeah.
trait.
He
Yeah.
definitely lets you know he doesn't like you.
He doesn't like me. I can't.
Like Jeremiah can't get close to him.
Old big brother there.
I love him.
He comes walking up to you, but I've got, I don't know, 7 or 8 horses in that pen. And so he's always first, but he's got his ears pinned at all of them. Well, if you don't know any better, he just comes marching up to you like he's, yeah, and he's got a real nasty mean face.
Yeah, he does.
He's a pretty nice little horse. Yeah. There, we just stopped. Oh, now we're going again. Amy will have to edit this part of the voice of my voice out of the deal, put music over it or something, but yeah.
He wasn't even trying.
Way better than
Yeah.
when he first came here. Like that.
Really?
Oh
was
man,
like-
he was right.
Huh.
Like this sucker is stretching all over the place.
Yeah.
But you see that post?
Yeah. The post is the way, the truth, and the light.
Kind of like leaning a little more towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that.
He put the lean in it.
He's a soggy little thing.
You're starting to get it shiny.
Yeah. I use it every day.
It's kind of like a badge of honor when you get it.
It was too. I just felt smarter. People pull in here like, yeah. Did you see the post?
You got some burn marks on it too?
Huh?
You got some burn marks on it?
Oh yeah.
Those are, I love the burn marks.
Heck yeah, you showed me how to do that.
Yeah.
Lock it when they're trying to get away from me.
Yeah.
That's what he tried to do. He's like, no, I'm not gonna go in a circle. I'm gonna just pull up this thing as hard as I can.
I do, but
I'll pop one
I
up.
can't believe he's going in a circle. I'm kind of pissed about that.
I know. I figured he'd be
Friggin' my tail don't hurt. Gosh dang it.
I've had them on occasion try to jump and kick when I've done this, and they end up right on their nose, and then that's kind of the end of that.
Yeah, he hurt near got me day before yesterday. He kicked at me when I went to put my foot in.
Really.
Yeah.
So what I think, I had this big asshole plan that I was gonna do this on both sides and then have Amy jump Rooster out and then ride him undone. But he's this, once I get off of him, this is gonna be a big day for him.
Yeah, it is a big day.
So
And this right here, I'm so happy with this.
Yeah.
Fred.
we'll do
This is huge for him.
we'll do this, and then I'll leave these with you, and just do this several days till you can go both sides, and you can wave your arms around and stuff. And then if you want me to come down and get on him without him,
I really don't want to wave my arms around. I just want to
yeah, no, but I mean get where you can't, where
where I can.
Yeah.
Around.
where you can move, where you wouldn't hesitate to wipe your nose
Okay.
or something like that. There you go, big boy.
And just keep trying to stay relaxed. Right?
Yep.
Relax, stay relaxed. Because that's what I thought I was doing with them. Like I was trying to sing a song, stay relaxed. And I was like, well, maybe it was just my energy.
Well, I think a lot of times it is when you know, like it's easier for me to come in here and step on him because I don't know him. Yeah, I mean I've had that happen to me. I can't tell you how many times where once kind of got, I can ride him and I can get around him and stuff, but I darn sure don't like it. The next guy comes along and just steps aboard and away they go, and because they don't have the
Because
history.
they haven't been through all the
Yeah.
stuff with me.
Yeah, and then you go, man, I did do my job right, I guess. I didn't think I did.
Well, I was thinking a career change.
Well, just need more tools in the toolbox.
Yeah. That thing is fantastic.
Yeah, they're awesome.
See, that's what he'd do, but he kept going.
Right. And he just couldn't, so he had to take it.
Is that what, that's what it's doing? It's stopping him from...
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he can't.
That's what he keeps doing, right? And he does it out of the blue.
Right. He can't take a full stride,
Okay.
so that's what's keeping him from doing it. Once he figures out how to,
Something I could have done as my, like doing my groundwork I was doing and driving, that I could have avoided that.
you know, I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't know what all went down in this and that, but I doubt it, because you know what you're doing. You've groundworked a million of them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you messed up. I think he's just kind of a weirdo.
Just every time I try to get up in front of him, you know.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I pony him off the other horse and work him off the other horse.
Right.
Totally relaxed.
And that usually works pretty good.
Yeah, and I would lean over, grab the saddle, put my leg over, you know.
Right.
When I was on the other horse, he's fine with it. I really appreciate it.
Shoot, not a big deal at all.
Well, it's a big deal to me, it seems like, because I've been racking my brain.
Oh, I thought they had a merry-go-round over there. That's the harrow?
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, is that like it's like a riata wreck?
I'd be sick.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, I was thinking that's what you had there was a rock deal.
Does that ever get, like, on, do they ever get, like, tangled up in it with the other leaves?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
You just hang in and ride it out?
Yeah. Like I said, by the time I do this, most of the time, they've had it on both sides.
They know how to maneuver?
Yeah, they've already had it on both sides, and I've done right front to left hind and vice versa. I'm gonna try to kind of get him to keep his feet still for a second so I can get off of him. He's not real excited about trying that. There we go. Oop. He wants to move around as long as he just gonna hang with him there. Step back aboard. That's a big day for this colt, so we're just gonna kind of end it there. Not totally ideal of where I wanted to end it, but we'll just keep kind of working with him. We'll do this the other side and do this a couple of days and get him where we want him.